What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so you may recall it might have been maybe a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I did a video reporting that Trump's name reportedly appears throughout the Epstein files, and that the DOJ was going to order the FBI to redact or black out Trump's name in the Epstein files, right? So now it's been reported that yes, indeed, the FBI or a team of agents from the FBI have redacted Trump's name and the names of other prominent public figures from the documents, according to three men familiar with the matter who were not authorized to speak with the media. That team, tasked with conducting a final review of the voluminous cache, had applied the redactions before the DOJ and the FBI concluded last month that, quote, no further disclosure of the files, quote, would be appropriate or warranted. From the government's perspective, Trump was a private citizen when the Epstein investigation took place, and therefore is entitled to privacy protections. Really? Okay. Before explaining the government's rationale for blacking out Trump's name, let's recap. Along with aliens and JFK's assassination, conspiracy theories surrounding the life and death of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein has long consumed MAGA. Epstein avoided federal trafficking charges in 2008 when he agreed to plead guilty to state charges in Florida for soliciting prostitution. In July 2019, following an investigation by the Miami Herald that also scrutinized the integrity of the government's probe, Epstein was indicted on federal charges of trafficking of little ones. A month later, he allegedly unalived himself in his jail cell, federal law enforcement authorities said, while awaiting trial. Epstein's death led to a swirl of renewed interest among Trump supporters, which in recent months had verged into an obsession. Last year, while still on the campaign trail, Trump vowed to, quote, declassify material in the government's possession pertaining to Epstein. Before Pam Bondi was nominated as Attorney General by Trump, she insisted that the public had a right to know more details about the case. If people in that report are still fighting to keep their names private, she said on Fox News last year, they have no legal basis to do so unless there's a child, a victim, or cooperating defendant. In January, Kash Patel, the FBI director, told the Senate committee during his confirmation hearing that he'd ensure, quote, that the American public knows the full weight of what happened. Then on February 27th, during a highly publicized event at the White House, Bondi rolled out what the Justice Department referred to as the, quote, first phase of the release of the Epstein files. It was attended by former Pizzagate provocateur Jack Posobiec and other far right-wing influencers. They were given binders labeled the Epstein files and the most transparent administration in history. They contained about 200 pages of documents that Bondi characterized as declassified. She also suggested at the time that the records would contain previously undisclosed details about Epstein. Instead, Bondi's big Epstein files party has been a bust. It turns out the documents she called declassified, which included pages from Epstein's infamous Black Book, had been previously released, most recently during the criminal trial of Ghislaine Maxwell, who I just reported has been transferred to a minimum security prison that has reportedly no major cameras and no recording devices. Anyway, let's move on. As we all know, Trump followers were irate. They were screaming, you know, that this was bullshit. And at the end of the day, they're like, wait a minute, you've been saying one thing this entire time, that this administration was going to be transparent, and now we're getting the same runaround, the same obfuscations, we're getting the same misdirections. So now it comes out that Trump's name has been blacked out. Now let me say this too. More than likely, Bill Clinton's name has been blacked out too. Okay, now to all the deflectors who keep talking about, well, why wasn't this talked about when Biden was president? Well, then I can go back and say, well, why wasn't this talked about when Trump was first president? I keep trying to tell people that the corruption is on both sides. It's like, you're not hearing me, or you just don't respect my opinion on politics. Fine. Keep being a fool. Black people keep being a fool voting for Democrats, and, you know, white folks keep being a fool voting Republican, because they definitely use race, both parties. They definitely use race to keep us going at each other while they pillage and profit. Trump is no savior. Biden is no hero. They're all crooks, and they all look out for themselves. Oh, they'll throw you a bone here or there. But but basically, they're in Congress to pillage and enrich themselves, lie through their tuck and teeth, become career grifters, amassing huge fortunes, despite the fact that congressmen are only making, what, $174,000 a year? How the fuck do you have 4 or 5 yachts and you make $174,000 a year? How are you a Svengali when it comes to Wall Street? But, you know, you're just a congressman. You're not in Wall Street. You know, you're not one of these Melvin Junkie, whatever the fuck his name is. You're not one of these guys. How the fuck do all these so-called market geniuses roam the halls of Congress? Insider trading? Absolutely. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. Look, I was younger one time, and I drank the Kool-Aid too. I fell for the BS. Democrats good, Republicans bad. All it takes is a little critical thinking. And you start wondering to yourself, wait a minute. Why aren't any of these Democratic-run cities where you don't have Republican opposition, why are all of them such festering shitholes? They are, I'm sorry, it's the truth. It ain't got nothing to do with black people, per se. It has to do with the fact that, unfortunately, black leaders in our party don't give a fuck. They give less fucks about the black community than white Democrats. They can get less. They have more disdain for us. I'm telling you, man, with very, very, very few exceptions, career politicians aren't shit. The ones who really want to make change, the ones who really want to do something, they never advance because they get rooted out. They're not part of the quote unquote team. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and those who are empowered, the corrupt ones, keep them out of the power play. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. What you guys think?